Vbout's powerful deep e-commerce integration helps your team take your e-commerce marketing to another level. I will show you how you can set up your online store and connect it to Vbout, how you can synchronize your store feed, an overview of the e-commerce API and what we track, how you can track purchases, e-commerce automation, how to build abandoned cart, upsells, order reviews, personalizing landing pages and email content with dynamic e-commerce blocks that are powered by Vbout. So let's get started. Now, as a quick overview of how our e-commerce works, we do have an open API for those that have a custom e-commerce solution. If you are using Shopify, WooCommerce, or Magento, we do have plugins in the works which will be released soon. So you can install these and you won't have to worry about the code. Now, for the e-commerce tracking side, you can easily integrate this whether you're doing it via web or via your app. So you can create an external file that tracks user IDs as well as emails. We also allow you to send cart data for abandoned cart information. So when somebody adds an item to the cart, they share cart details, they clear cart items, and so on. You can sync completed cart orders, and all these details that you see here will be synchronized back to Vbout. And also synchronizing your intent data or the shopper's intent data. So searching for a product, viewing a category or an item, creating a profile, and even upon sign up, if you offer preferences, the system will synchronize it back to their profile in order for us to suggest products. These suggestions will happen on the email templates and the landing pages as well. We've assembled a sample code for your team, so if they like to start from pre-made code, they will get some ideas from this page. This is accessible from our developers page and helps your team immensely integrate your e-commerce with your Vbout platform. Now, the first thing you need to do is to activate your store on Vbout. To do that, you go to your settings, website tracking code, and locate the domain where you have your e-commerce installed. In this example, I'll click the Show Domain Settings and tick this option on. This is extremely important, so the tracker will listen to the API calls that are being made. You will also see another option to synchronize the product feed. So all these products are either passed from orders that gets placed on the site, or when you import a product from an Excel file to the system, will also synchronize the feed over to us. You can download a sample CSV and you can map it over as you do the upload. Very easy. Now, this is important because we're going to use this product feed in our personalization process, suggestions, and so on. And we can even track purchases and purchase values, lifetime values, and even report back on some products. Now, as someone shops or they preview your e-commerce store, they start browsing around. Anything they do on the search, anything they do or every product they visit, every order is placed or abandoned as far as the shopping cart goes, will be synced back to us. I'll show you a quick example. This is me. I just placed a quick abandoned cart order. I haven't completed the actual order. So on the left, you'll see one e-commerce and there's an abandoned cart right here. I can view the cart details. I can see the product here, it links back. And once I complete the purchase, this will be moved to my order history. Now, all this information will be accessible when we start creating workflows. So we can have filtering, we can have specific targeting, and so on. So let's go into that. Now, on the left, under your automations, you can go ahead and start creating a new workflow. You will see the abandoned cart and the completed order triggers. We'll also have a custom event trigger, which I'll cover. So under the abandoned cart, this will be automatically detected when someone adds either the first product to their cart, or each time they add a product to the cart, we'll wait 30 minutes and we reset it over and over with each time they click on add to cart. So you can choose when to activate this trigger. I'll select any specific domains that I've installed this on, which is the same domain I just showed you. When to begin this trigger, meaning make it active on which date. You can apply this to historical data. If you have already abandoned carts in the database, you can roll back or you can start anew. Here I can define some additional targeting, meaning if I want to target those that maybe have a specific product within the database. Maybe the total lifetime order value is greater than $200. So you can create this sort of filtering right from here, or you can just leave it without any filters to target everyone who abandons a cart. Now by default, this waits 30 minutes, but you can go on and add additional delays if you'd like. Some companies, they send abandoned carts 30 minutes after and a product is added, and some companies do it an hour later. These are probably the recommended ranges that brings the highest conversions, but of course this is case by case. Now that means if I add an hour here or another 30 minutes here, it's going to have 30 minutes on the rule for the trigger and 30 minutes on the delay. I'll then send an email. I can wait a day, send a follow-up. And it's important to note that if at any point the person ends up making a purchase, this will not execute as well as this. So if you created a workflow for a few days and the fifth day they still haven't converted, they will continue through the workflow. As soon as a purchase is made, they will be kicked out of this workflow. So you don't have to create any filters for that. The system is provisioned to detect them and remove them from the flow. As far as the second completed order trigger, this is when somebody completes the order. So similarly, as we did with the abandoned cart, when someone completes the purchase, when to begin activating this trigger, and if it's with each completed order or only one time. Similarly, you have access to filters, and you can build the flows like product confirmation, order confirmation, that sort of stuff. Lastly, if you want to do intent triggers, I can go into custom events. Here I'll have all my abandoned cart or e-commerce activities, along other things like lead scoring triggers and stuff like that. So I can do things like search product contains, let's say, iPhone. And you can pair this with additional filtering, of course, under the target segment. For instance, you can pair it with a lifetime value of a certain amount. So all these are available under the custom filters. And these happen instantaneously. So if somebody searches for a key term, it's going to match it and it's going to execute it on the fly. Let me show you how you can customize the email content with dynamic blocks. Now, once you're inside the automated messages, and if you want to start creating messages, navigate to the design, themes, and either start from scratch under new design, template designer, or you can choose a theme. In this case, I'll choose a template designer. All right, we're going to keep it simple. So what I'll do, I'm just going to create a template that has an image and the copy below it. If you want to do an abandoned cart, on the left, under the design elements, there is a last abandoned cart. So I'm going to drag it and drop it. You're going to see here 3 products by default, and on the left, there are some settings associated with it. So the first thing is choosing the store. The second is choosing the style. There's a couple of styles here. And also the options. If you want to show the unit image, the variables, so whatever you want to configure is available as far as options on the left. Now, if you're offering, or if you have a checkout URL, which is unique to the person, you can put the shortcode here. But if you don't have a unique checkout to redeem or resume the cart, then you can actually just leave that as it is or link it back to your cart page. Now, once you save, you'll have the options as well to change the styles on the left. So you can change descriptions, you can change quantity, colors and fonts and all that stuff. So fully customizable when it comes to design. You can make it match your own store designs and work with that. Now, of course, when this email is delivered, the content you see here are going to reflect the actual abandoned cart for that person. So the image will be replaced with the product image, the title, the description, and of course the pricing and the quantity. Now you can add additional items here. For instance, I can do related products. Now the related products is pretty cool because what we'll do is we're going to identify products from different categories And we're going to prioritize the suggestion based on either most recently visited pages by that particular receiver of the email, the most viewed, the last abandoned cart details, the last completed purchase, or the custom preferences for that contact. So if they have, upon signups, filled up some things like, what the products they're interested in, categories, things like that, we can use those information to suggest products for them. All right, a few other options here for you. Last viewed products is an option. Last viewed category is an option. And of course, the last order details completed. Now you'll have access to short codes, which is lifetime value, last order total, and the last abandoned cart URL. So if you've synced that over back to us, we'll be able to plug that into the actual cart. It will look something like this, and technically you can copy that and include it inside your buttons or call to actions. Now the beauty about Vbout is that you can do the same thing within landing pages. So all these shortcodes that you see available, you can personalize a landing page to include this information. As long as the person is cookied, we will be able to display relevant product information for them on this page. So this is how you can use the e-commerce component available on Vbout to take your e-commerce marketing to another level.